What can I say about a guy who started with nothing, the meagerest of beginnings, dirt poor, and through his own determination and hard work and extraordinary talent, rose to the pinnacle of his profession, and now is beloved by everyone for being a great humanitarian. But enough about me. Trust me, he'd do the same for me. I've known Tommy Dreesen for over 25 years. We met and became fast friends in 1985, the night Frank Sinatra reopened the Chicago Theater on State Street. And there was an intimate dinner for Frank at La Strada at Michigan and Randolph, and Tommy and I bonded there. We're both Irish and Italian. We're both about the same age, old. I could do 2 hours on Tommy Dreesen, but I think this kind of sums it up. My wife Susan has a plaque in our office over the desk that reads, "The best and most beautiful things in this world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart." That was written by Helen Keller many years ago. Tommy Dreesen's heart is bigger than Chicago. It's bigger than Lake Michigan. He has touched people all over the world with his heart. People who have been lifted up by Tom's acts of goodwill. His children, his grandchildren, his beloved sister Darlene, his brothers, his friends, the military servicemen and women that he's visited serving in Iraq and Afghanistan, the Chicago Police and Fire Departments, and then there's countless charities. I personally feel blessed to call Tommy my dear friend, and I am thrilled to welcome him into this very special fraternity, the Illinois Fatherhood Initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Dreesen.
And we have a Tom Dreesen video. Let's roll the tape.
Was born in the manger in Harvey, Illinois. And the first time that Tom Dreesen heard Frank Sinatra sing, he was shining shoes in a tavern in Harvey, Illinois, on the south side of Chicago. Little did he know that he would one day fly with Frank for 13 years all over the country, appearing in the most prestigious venues America had to offer, with his name on the marquee with the chairman of the board. His journey into comedy began soon after his discharge from the Navy, where he had served aboard the USS Tarawa and the USS Essex and helped bring a close to the Cold War. It all started for Tom in September 1969, when he went on stage for the very first time as a member of the comedy team of Tim and Tom, America's first black and white comedy duo. In a book recently written about the groundbreaking team, the publisher said, as the heady promise of the 60s sagged under the weight of widespread violence, rioting, and racial unrest, these 2 young men, one black and one white, took to the stages across the nation to help Americans confront the racial divide by laughing at it. After more than 5 years, the team decided to go their separate ways, and Tom began his solo career as a stand-up comic and a very funny storyteller. After countless nights on the road and apart from his family, Tom got his first big break with his debut appearance on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. The world of show business began to unfold for Tom. He went on to make 61 appearances on The Tonight Show, and today is one of David Letterman's favorite guests, and from time to time has been tapped to guest host late night and late night. It all began with that very first Tonight Show appearance, which launched him as a regular guest on talk shows hosted by the likes of Sammy Davis Jr., Dinah Shore, Mike Douglas, Merv Griffin, and joining the fun on some of Dean Martin's famous roasts. Sam wasted no time in booking Tom as his opening act for 2 months, which actually turned into 3 years. But it wasn't long before Frank Sinatra himself took an interest in Tom and said, "Come fly with me, baby." Of course, Tom did, for 13 years in 45 to 50 cities a year, until Frank sang his last song. The best is yet to come. And so it is today with Tom. You might find him playing golf at the Bobo or the Frank Sinatra golf tournaments, or at the AT&T in Pebble Beach. He could be guest performing or hosting on national television, or at one of America's prestigious events, or on stage in Las Vegas, entertaining our troops in Iraq or running a marathon for MS or another worthy cause. He's all over the place. No matter where it is, Tom believes, just like Frank Sinatra did, that the best is always yet to come.
What I admire most about my dad is that he's always there for us, and not only us, not only the kids, his friends, family, everybody. I mean, everybody knows they can call him and get advice. But I have to tell you, this is my dad's cereal bowl. Yes, with shredded wheat, cornflakes, Cheerios, and Raisin Bran, and he eats this every day. Well, I remember when we were little, we would be all in the car, and a song would come on the radio, and he would pull the car. Well, no, he wouldn't even pull the car over. He would just turn the radio up and get out of the car and start dancing in the middle of the street. And all of us kids were sitting in the back seat, humiliated. He's always there for any of us. Any time of the day or the night, we call him, we have a problem, we need somebody to talk to, he's always there. And it's not only us, it's his friends, it's his family, it's anybody. He turns, the most difficult situations into, humorous situations that, it helps us all get through difficult times in our lives. Dad was the kind of guy that could never even program his VCR. Now, the same guy is on a laptop, an iPad, an iPhone, Facebook, Twitter, he does it all. He's a techie. A lesson that I've learned from my dad is laughter is the best medicine.
One thing you might not know about my dad is that he's incredibly organized. His house is meticulous, his closet is in order, but when we all get together for dinner, he's always late.
We love you, Grandpa. You're the best.
Dad, thank you so much for teaching me what a great friend should be, what a great parent should be, and how to love without judgment. I feel truly blessed that you are my father. I love you.
Thank you very much. You've all been here a long time, so I want to thank my friend Joey Hearn, who introduced me, and congratulations to all of you. One quick story, I tell a story about Joey Hearn, and it's true. He's a man that he's got a heart, as he said, but I have a heart, he's got a bigger heart. We were walking up Michigan Avenue a couple days ago, and he saw an old raggedy bum walking up the street with holes in his shoes. In fact, one of the shoes, the sole was flapping, and Joe reached in his pocket, pulled out a lot of $100 bills, this thick, and with a big rubber band around it, and he took the rubber band off and he said to the guy, "Here, put this on your shoe, it'll stop it." Thank you, Reverend. By the way, the interesting thing about Tim Reed and I being America's first black and white comedy team, what you saw there was a routine. One of the routines we used to do where this was 1969, 1970, I was interviewing the first black president of the United States. That was one of our routines. So to say that we were before our time is an understatement. One of the things I said to him, "What are you going to do when you become president of the United States?" He said, "First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to enact a law that dead people are not allowed to vote in Chicago. Big laugh in those days. And I said, what's the second thing you're going to do? He said, I'm going to enact a law that live people aren't allowed to vote in Mississippi. But it was big laughs. The book is now Tin Town, American Comedy, black and white. It's now going to become a movie. We signed the rights to do a movie literally shot right here in Chicago. But a couple things I want to say real quick. And some you may like and some you may not like. But these are my feelings. I want to speak from my heart. First of all, let me go back to the importance of a dad. My father was an alcoholic. He drank all the time. He spent most of his time in bars. Good man, but he had a disease. When one of your parents has a disease, you learn to hate the illness but love the man. So we endured. My 8 brothers and sisters endured while he spent all his time in the bars most of the time. And I remember I played a lot of sports, and my father never ever came to a game where I played. Never saw any game that I played. In 8th grade, I was in the playoffs, and on the basketball team, I was captain of this basketball team. I scored 28 points in one game, and we went into the playoffs, the final game. And my sister went home. My sister Darlene, God rest her soul, but she came home and she said to my mom, "Oh, you know, the whole school was buzzing." So my mom went and got my dad out of a bar to see me play for the first time. And my dad came to the game, and I'll never forget. I scored 2 points the whole game, and we got beat by about 30 points. No, but that 2 points I scored, I fired like a 40-footer up in the 3rd quarter, and it went in. And the first thing that I did was I looked in that stand to see if he was looking to see that basket. And he was. He saw that basket, and the primetime makers. If I live to be 100, I'll never forget that look on his face. How important is a father? How important is a parent? That father. That's what this whole evening is all about. All my successes, all the things that I've done in my life, that image is in my brain for the rest of my life. We smile at something that I have done. That was my pat on the back. Now, the other thing that I'm going to say that may offend people in this room, and may not, but I want to speak from my heart. Growing up in Harvey, when I was growing up in Harvey, in 1960, 4% of the children being born were being born fatherless. 4%. Today, over 70% are being born fatherless. Where did that all begin? How did that happen in America in such a short time? In my neighborhood, when I was growing up in the white or black community, if a little girl got pregnant, the whole neighborhood went out there and told that kid, "Come here, you, come here. No, you're not getting away with this. No. You say you're not going to marry her? Okay, but you're going to take care of that child." And the community made sure that happened. Today, 77% of all teenage crimes are being committed by fatherless teenagers. 77% of all teenage crimes are being committed by fatherless teenagers. 75% of the children being born in Detroit this year are being born fatherless. In Harvard, where I grew up at, over 70% of the children being born are being born fatherless. Where did that begin? How did that happen? When we were growing up, did we ever hear if you have one baby, you get $220 a month? If you have 2 babies, you get $340 a month. If you have 3 babies, you get $440 a month. If you have 5 babies, you get... We never heard that. The community stepped up. The churches, the people of the community stepped up. The men of that community would not let that happen. And our problem today is we don't have men in that community. Where did that happen? How did that happen? How did we let that happen? The government can pass all the laws they want to. They can do all the regulations they want to, but it has to begin at the grassroots in that community. All of us. And that's what this evening is about. That's what this organization is about. This might be, ladies and gentlemen, the most important organization for the future of America. Thank you very much.
As you looked at your program, I'm sure you saw that one of our honorees tonight was the new mayor of the city of Chicago. Well, unfortunately, Mayor Emanuel is not able to be with us here tonight due to some scheduling conflicts, but I'm pleased to say that we do have his parents here with us. the people who are responsible for Ram being in this world. So we'd like to invite you both up, please. Dr. and Mrs. Benjamin Emanuel.
I'd like to say a few words.
I'm going to let you talk first.
First, I would like to thank the board for inviting me and my wife to attend this beautiful session. Very important one for parents and children to be together and look for the future. I want to congratulate everybody here on stage for achieving such a wonderful and high position. When you get a child and he's born, all you care about is for the future is his health and his growth. Certain tragedies do occur along the way, and you live with it and you pray. The kids, 3 of them, they were troublemakers from the beginning. Fighting occurred every day. Shoes were flying around the room. One would look under the bed for the other in the morning to go to school. Their diplomas we put on the refrigerator to make sure that we know as parents they're flunking or improving or doing well. Kissing and hugging was very important as parents. The family was number one. Religion played a part in all of it. I have to congratulate my wife for taking care of them because I was working like a son of a bitch from morning till night in the hospital. And gradually they improved. Each one did his own way, and we applauded them. We congratulated them, we encouraged them. And that's what every parent should do. It's important, the family unit, to continue, and it's important that there is a father figure that the kids can come and talk to him every time they want to. We discussed everything from alcohol to sex to brotherhood and family. And I'm proud to say that they're all doing well and their kids are wonderful. So I want to thank you first of all for inviting us, and I'll give the forum to my wife who raised them.
He's the talker, I'm the doer. Thank you all for inviting us. As you can hear from my husband, he set a wonderful example, and in many ways, some of it a little shaky, but a very lovely example. And I'm proud to say that our sons have followed him and even gone a step further. For his generation, he never changed a diaper. And I made sure their wives knew that they had to change diapers. Thank you again, and good night from us.
You know, Dr. Emanuel knows what he's talking about. He's a pediatrician. So he knows a little bit about raising healthy, happy children.
I'm a sex therapist.
Because he said he's a sex therapist as well. So I think we know where our mayor, and we do have a Ron Emanuel video, so let's not miss that. You can roll the tape, please. Apparently, that's the wrong video. But it's close, that's all right. It's the next person who's coming up. We don't want to confuse that issue, so let's get Walter E. Smith. You've probably seen him on television as much as you've